Hi, this is Celeste. I'm a nationally certified interventionist, recovery coach, and family coach, and I'm here to talk to you today about the difficulty that goes along with people pleasing. And I think even the term people pleasing is very much misleading because the underlying root cause of wanting to people please has nothing really to do with a genuine desire to people please. I think it has more to do with our own insecurities about causing conflict. And so many of us who've been caught up in the people pleasing trap, we call it people pleasing like it's a wonderful thing to do, but at the end of the day, a lot of times we're just trying to avoid conflict. We're trying to avoid people judging us. We're trying to avoid people maybe abandoning us or walking away from us. So it's almost like this martyr complex that comes up in the people pleasing. And at the end of the day, it's almost a very dishonest way to live, because you're telling this person, I want to do this, I want to help you, I want to help make your life easier, and it's a double-edged sword, because in the short term it's actually making our lives easier by being able to avoid that conflict, by being able to avoid those feelings of abandonment that might come if we make that person angry, And so many of us who are in the recovering from codependency and enabling, we almost wear that people-pleasing badge like it's a badge of honor. Like, look how much I'm doing for everybody in my life. And it's almost like we thrive on that martyrdom complex, and it's almost the only sense of power that we can get is in people pleasing, because look how much power and control that I have. And it can be very much a manipulation, but at the end of the day, I think that it causes resentments on both sides. So if you're that people pleaser who's supporting someone in active addiction, a lot of times we become very resentful towards that person in active addiction because of everything that we're doing for them under that martyrdom complex, wearing it like a badge of honor, and we're not getting anything in return, except more being shit on by that person and having to deal with their consequences and the pain of everything that we're doing to help, and it's not working. And it's a very difficult place to be, because we feel so uncomfortable in that state of wondering, what if I do stand up and put a boundary in place, or say no, and risk that conflict, or risk that person abandoning me, or whatever that fear might be. And that it can be very difficult for someone who's grown up in trauma and has, potentially anxiety or depression or post-traumatic stress, causing that conflict and that potentially that strife with another person, someone that we love in active addiction. That can be very, very scary. And it can actually be scarier than where we're at in that place of resentment, trying to fill the needs of someone in active addiction. And people pleasing is a very, very much a no-win situation, because, we're not living authentically, we're not being honest or truthful with ourselves or others, and, because it's that same denial system that goes along with addiction. So we're denying that we have a problem. And in fact, we feel very powerful in how much we're doing for others. And, if we let that sense of denial and admitted that we're actually afraid of conflict, we're afraid of strife, we're afraid of being abandoned, then it's like we almost have to take responsibility to do something about it. So it can be people pleasing, and codependency and enabling can be a very difficult place for anybody to be, because not only are we not helping ourselves live authentically, happily, stress-free, in a joyful place of having a meaningful life, but we're also robbing the person that we love in active addiction of being able to experience their own negative consequences. And this might sound like an interesting negative thing to say, but there is a really positive outcome of letting someone in active addiction feel the pain of their own negative consequences. And I can say that as somebody in recovery who's had to experience the pain of their own negative consequences in order to find recovery. Sometimes, postponing having them deal with the negative consequences of their own addiction can sometimes serve to prolong their suffering in active addiction. So, in learning to set boundaries and say no, and stopping the pattern of people pleasing and codependency, you're actually giving a great gift of love to yourself and the person that you love in active addiction. And so if you want to learn more on how to break these cycles and start to set boundaries and get out of this pattern of people pleasing and codependency and enabling, check out my family coaching program and send in your application. I'll include the details in the caption below on the family coaching program and some of the things that you'll learn through the program. So learning how to set boundaries, learning how to set goals, how to make a plan to start to achieve those goals, building healthier, stronger relationships, improving communication. All these things are included in the family coaching program. So you're going to want to get to the link below, fill out your application because spots are limited. Once you filled out your application, we'll set up a call to start to develop a plan for your individualized coaching program because it does need to be individualized for you because everybody has a different history, different things going on in their lives. So it is very important that it is an individualized program. So we will definitely work that out for you. I look forward to seeing your application and I look forward to working with you. Thanks for tuning in.